Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Flip Don't Flop. My name is Adrian Donovan. In this video, we're going to be unboxing some online arbitrage. So these are the kinds of pairs that we have purchased on platforms such as eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, in hopes of flipping them for a nice profit. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. That'd be very much appreciated. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so with these here, we have a pretty even mixture of ones that came from Poshmark and ones that came from eBay. Now, we don't know exactly what to expect with these pairs. We are opening them for the first time here. Okay, first off, we have this pair of women's Prada ballet flats. They have what seems like genuine horse fur all around. Now, with the pairs that have genuine fur like this, you need to really examine to make sure there aren't any spots where there is a lot of fur missing, because people will not like that at all. I do see there is a bit missing there in the back, and there's also a bit of separation to the heel. We might actually be able to sew that with no problems. They are genuine Prada. I do wish, of course, they said Prada somewhere on them that would be visible, but they don't. They're in overall okay condition, but I do see a few bare spots, unfortunately. I'm hoping that we got these for pretty cheap. I think we did. Okay guys, so it looks like we gave $29.61 for this pair of women's Prada ballet flats. That's an okay deal, considering their condition. I think we can probably sell this pair for about $100. I can't see getting really any more than that for them. We could, of course, get more for them if they had the Prada spell out or Prada logo on them, but of course that's not the case with this pair. So, after fees and shipping, we should stand a profit about $50 on this pair. And we have another pair of Prada. This is a pair of men's slip-on loafers. It's not too noticeable, but they do have the Prada spell out right there on the side. We have actually sold these kind of like chunkier loafers numerous times over the years. These are actually in really good condition. We will go ahead and polish these up to make them shine just a bit more. I'm just kind of checking to make sure that these aren't falling apart, because with these being fairly vintage, I want to make sure the glue didn't dry up too much and what would cause them to kind of fall apart. Also going to bend them as well to make sure the sole isn't dried up. They look and sound good. Seem nice and secure. They are a bit of a smaller size, so that will affect the price a bit. Okay, so this was a really good deal. We paid $27.67 for this pair. That is a very, very good deal, considering their condition, and that they do have the Prada spell out on the side. Although it is not super visible, it is there. I think we should be able to sell this pair for about $120. Like I said, we have sold this exact model numerous times over the years, and that's usually about what we price them at. So after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $70 on this pair. That is really, really nice margins. Alright. What we have here is a pair of women's John Fluvog ankle boots. Now, this isn't a brand that we purchase a whole lot with online arbitrage, although I do see a pretty good opportunity with this brand. There are some pairs that sell quite cheap at auction, and there are some pairs that are priced quite cheap on Buy It Now. And also, too, I've seen so many of them sell quite high. So I do think there's a pretty good opportunity with John Fluevog. These seem to be in really, really good condition, and they have a quite interesting style. As you see, they kind of have like the buttons there on the side. They have like kind of like this overlapped looking toe. They have a bit of grain leather to them. They're a zip up boot. They also have like a button on the side. So they're a pretty interesting boot. Nice and clean inside. Okay, it looks like we gave $45.66 for this pair of women's John Fluevog boots. That is an excellent price. Kind of going off of my memory from what we've sold some pairs, so much of this in the past. I don't really see any problem getting about $150 for this pair. So, after fees and shipping, that should make it to where we profit about $80 on this pair here. Really nice find. What we have here is a pair of men's John Varvatos lace-up ankle boots. They are black suede, and my initial reaction is that the suede is actually in phenomenal condition, as are the heels. It doesn't seem like whoever had these, they wore these very often. Nice and clean inside. Now, this isn't a pair of John Varvatos made in Italy. Those are quite a bit more desirable. But I do pick up John Varvatos that is made in Portugal and China on occasion. Of course, the price needs to be right. These even have like some crepe here on the sole. People tend to like crepe quite well. Really, really clean. And they also do come with the John Varvatos dust bag. That's a nice addition. That's going to make it to where we can sell these for a bit more. And they also tend to sell a bit faster as well with us having the dust bag. Yeah. Really, really good condition. Alright now, so looks like we gave $52.43 for this pair of men's John Varvatos ankle boots. That is a pretty good price considering their condition. Also considering they come with the dust bag. I think we should be able to sell this pair for about $130. I think if we price them a little bit higher than that, they're going to sit just a little bit too long for my liking. We will probably brush the suede a bit to help make it look a little bit nicer, but overall the suede is very, very clean and doesn't really need much done to it, thankfully. So, if we sell these for $130, after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $55 on this pair. Now this one looks like the tape is like barely hanging on. It's like completely off on this side, barely hanging on the other side. Hopefully that's not a sign of anything bad. Okay, so we have a pair of men's brass boot. It's a pair of loafers. They come with the original box, as you see. Now, what makes this pair nice is that they have genuine Cayman alligator right here on the vamp. And this, too, is a model that we have actually bought and sold numerous times over the years. It's not one that we find too often. They aren't really worth a ton, but I do remember I got these for a pretty good deal. They're in good condition. It does not seem like whoever had these, they wore these very often. Now with exotic skin shoes, you need to really make sure that the skin is not cracking. If there is excessive cracking, you really cannot fix that. And it doesn't seem like these are really cracking anywhere. Just in phenomenal condition. Especially considering that these are probably around 20 years old, I would say. They even still have the little plaque right there that says genuine Cayman alligator. Most shoes that have exotic skin, they usually say on the bottom, or sometimes they will say inside. Most of them do, but not all of them. So in case there is a pair in question, you can usually look in the bottom and it'll have either a plaque. It'll sometimes be written here, but with them being pre-owned shoes, it may have worn off. It's also something that really kind of comes with experience. We have bought and sold exotic skin shoes pretty much ever since we've been dealing with online arbitrage, and we always know if it's genuine skin or not, and it just kind of comes with experience. It has kind of a certain look and feel to it that you just can't quite replicate with embossed leather. Alright, so we gave $52.42 for this pair of men's brass boot genuine Cayman alligator slip-on loafers. That's a pretty decent price considering their overall condition, and also considering they have the box. I would probably say that we should be able to sell this pair for probably around $130. I would be okay with even a little bit less because there isn't a whole lot of genuine skin. It's just on the vamp. So yeah, $130 should be pretty fair. Pretty easy to get that for them. So with that being said, after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $55 on this pair. Also another pair that was really well packaged. Always like when the seller puts in that little extra effort to make sure that the order is going to make it to us without getting damaged, hopefully. So, what we have here, if you can read that, is a pair of Magnani slip-on loafers. Now, this pair, they are, if you can tell, they are full genuine ostrich quill. And just like the brass boot, they have the plaque still right there on the bottom. The plaques often fall off like they did with this one, but you can see on each side where like the nails were. There's a bit of heel wear. It's not too excessive. It's not enough for me at all to want to get the heels replaced. You can see there's a little bit of unevenness right there, but it's not bad at all. The insides are fairly clean. I don't see anything that would raise any concern with this pair. They're in overall good condition. They are a good size too. Popular size 11. Sell that really well. Okay, so it looks like we gave $58.84 for this pair of men's Magnani ostrich quill loafers. That is an excellent, excellent price because Magnani is a very expensive brand. I'm not sure if you've ever have any experience with Magnani, but their pairs are well into the hundreds, brand new. And that's not even to mention the ones that have exotic skin. They're even higher. Considering the condition of these, I don't really see any problem with getting about $170 for this pair. So after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $85 on this pair of Magnani. And here we have the last one to unbox. So what we have here is a pair of men's Gucci horsebit ankle boots. Now these are quite vintage. And another pair with socks inside. You'd be surprised how often we see that, where people leave socks inside the shoes. I'm not too thrilled with the condition of these, especially on the inside. If you can see there at all, the insides are really discolored on this pair. This one is really discolored on the inside there. It's really unfortunate. And it's the kind of discoloration that we really can't clean up. We can't really do anything about it. I actually didn't know that these came with a box, so that's a nice surprise, because There was no mention of the box in the listing, and there was you couldn't see the box in the pictures either, so I had no idea that these came with the box, so that is a nice surprise. There is a bit of separation here to the midsole, if you can see that. It's not a huge reason for concern, but it is a little bit disappointing. There was also a bit of leather cracking on the inside lining. I think overall for their age, they're in okay condition. Okay, so it looks like we gave $91.65 for this pair. That is definitely a bit more than what we normally give, but with these being a pair of Gucci horsebit ankle boots, I was okay with giving a bit more than normal. We will definitely polish these up to make them look a bit nicer because they could use a good polishing. They're in somewhat disappointing condition, so it's just going to pretty much be reflected in the price. I think with them being in the condition they're in, they are a bit of a smaller size. I can't really see selling these for any more than like about $250. Any more than that might be possible, depending on how well they clean up, but I don't want to sit on anything too long. And I think that's a fairly reasonable price. Like I said, we have sold this pair, this style, a couple of times in the past, and I want to say we've sold them for a bit more than that. And the pairs then, they didn't come with the box or dust bag, original or not. But they were in much better condition, and they were also a better size. And if I remember right, those pairs sold like pretty quickly. I think they sold within a week. I'm thinking around $250 for this pair. I think I'm alright with that. So, after fees and shipping, we should stand to profit about $120 on this pair of Gucci. So, before we go here, just kind of want to go over an overview of the numbers of these 7 pairs that we just unboxed. So, the total estimated revenue is $1,050. The total item cost is $358.28. The total profit is $513.22. So looking at the averages, the average revenue is $150. The average item cost is $51.18. And the average profit is $73.32. These are overall really, really good numbers. And they are the kind of numbers that we always look for when purchasing online arbitrage. There was quite a bit of Prada in this haul, which is pretty normal. We buy quite a bit of Prada and Gucci. To no surprise, Prada and Gucci sells pretty well, especially Gucci, and we can usually buy it for around $50, $60. Of course, like newer, more modern styles, they're not going to be affordable at that price. You might have to like get ones that are a little bit older, but that's fine. They still sell. And also, too, especially this is true with Prada, there is a huge opportunity for it. There is a lot of Prada on the market to be purchased. So if you're patient and you're diligent, you can find some of it to flip yourself. Overall, not too bad at all. The Gucci boots, a little disappointing. Not quite what I was hoping for, but they're not a flop. So I think it's going to pretty much wrap it up, guys, for this video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video.